Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Yvonne from Ginger Chick Rehab. I am so glad to have you back checking out what I am up to. So in today's video, I am bringing you the weekly thrift haul and makeover. So this is what I found when I was out thrifting at Goodwill, Salvation Army, secondhand stores. Then I share with you all what I had picked up throughout the week, and then at the end of the video, I share the items with you that I made over. So I share my vision and my process of what I do to these items to get them ready to resell. This is what I found throughout the week when I was out thrifting. This week I didn't have a lot of time. We were getting ready for Easter. I was doing some spring cleaning. Yeah, sometimes, you know, even us YouTubers have to get things done in our own house, and I know that. And then I kind of made some videos up of some techniques that I had put in a lot of videos and separated them into one video of like the glue crackling technique, the patinas, making over thrifted crocks and canisters. So that just gave me, yes, I know I was revamping, but that one gave you a video that had all those techniques in them that you could save to your playlist for easier reference. And then that also gave me time to work on the things around my house that I needed to work on, because yeah, we live in our houses too, so there's things that we need to get done. And I did video, and we'll see how if y'all liked watching me cleaning and sharing what I do to spring clean or cleaning up our yard. It may not have been exciting to some, and it may have been exciting to others. So yes, let's get into this haul. Let's just start off with these big chunky metal, oh my goodness. There are metal candlesticks. They were $4.99 a piece. We actually stopped at the Goodwill outside of town when we went to those barn sales, and I found these. I'm gonna see how they clean up. I really like that patina, but my idea was to put a piece of wood on these. I made some of those up, adding them into a video of some candlesticks I had, and they sold really well. I don't think I want to paint this up, but we'll see how they turn out once I put a piece of wood on them, if I feel like I need to paint. I don't know. We'll see how they clean up, because there's a lot of wax, and that might leave weird spotchies. I'm not sure, so we'll see. We'll see how they clean up. You just never know. And it's always funny talking about candles. As a thrifter, I can't tell you the last time I paid full price for a candle or candle melts. And I know my family prefers to be with me because I still don't have smell back since COVID. It's what, 2 years now? The last candle I burnt in our house, my family was like, what is that horrible smell? So the person that doesn't have smell should not be buying candles, but they were with me when we picked up these. So these were some Bath and Body Works ones, and we know what those were. So for $4.29, new candles. Yeah, so this was a kiwi passion fruit, and then this one for $4.29 was a marshmallow fireside. So we like to burn candles. I actually don't burn as often because I can't really smell them, so that is very sad. But I don't like to pay full price, so I'm still always looking at those candles. How about you all? I don't know. I really can't tell you the last time I paid full price for a candle. $3.29. Look at this. It's just a shelf sitter. I'm not going to do anything to this. I definitely think it's got that white. It's got that wood background type to it. Just a nice little shelf sitter just to sit anywhere. So for $3.29, I did pick that up. I like it. Has its own little, so it's not going to roll. You don't have to put it in a bowl. You can put it on a candlestick. So you can put it on a candlestick if you want. Now, $10.29, I did find another one of these bowls, and yet again, yep, it's cracked. It's cracked because, yeah, I mean, I know when we got ours years ago, the directions said to oil it often. Yeah, that's not happening. So I'll probably do the same thing with that dark CA glue. And somebody's now I always link the CA glues in my description box. I think I forgot to link because you have to buy the black one separately. And yes, they're not sold at common places. They're more sold at woodworking stores. So if you're out and about, you're probably not going to find it to order. So I need to remember to link the dark one this time. And if I don't, somebody give me a shout out. I can always copy and paste. It's just overwhelming sometimes when you're trying to remember everything you use in a video. But yes, the other one I already sold. This one for $10.29 is twice the size. These weren't cheap when they sold them. So yeah, I definitely, long as I think I can save it. And somebody probably wouldn't even care. That crack's not even, it's not even that big, but I kind of like doing that. I like doing that fix. I like that. Like that little chair that I did at Kathy's. I definitely loved it on that. Ooh, that was fun to fill in that crack. Now this was $10.29 also, but look, it was black and white. This bad boy is heavy. Just a beautiful, I can't tell what that was. I know it's gonna pick up my ring light. So just a nice heavy vase. I will probably take, that's already far apart, the greenery out of it and sell it as is. I had those two minty green type, one sold, one hasn't sold at the time of the video. So yep, I would just sell the vase, not, and then that I'd probably ask 24, 28 for, you know, 30 seems a little too much. I mean, you just have to guesstimate on your area. Okay, so for $5.29, I picked up this outdated, very dirty, very greasy bread box, but the bones are wonderful. And what I was excited about is I can change this out. I'm gonna have to hammer that out, but $5.29, it was a great price tag because most of the ones I pick up now, Goodwill's wanting $8 to $10 for, and so sometimes I have to walk away because like the accordion, the roll top, I gotta take those apart, and you know, and I've gone up to about 55 and they still sell. I tried 65 and they just sat, so I have to know what I can do work-wise into an item. And usually bread boxes, I'll do a whole bread box video just because they're so needy. Different things, and it's just easier to group them all together. Than that way I have a whole bunch in my inventory. And I will share with you all, I'm getting ready for a yard sale, garage sale at our house. I make a lot of items over, and sometimes when I make the items over, they don't fit into our booth. So we've done the garage sales inventory control at Hog Creek, and then that one was kind of weird this year because I had other things I wanted to do, but I couldn't do it because we had the power outages. So I forgot about Christmas and holiday stuff that just does not sell in our booth. And so yeah, I'm going to be getting ready. I'll probably share some of that video with you. I'm not going to share it on my Ginger Chick page because I'm not comfortable with people coming. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want people really coming to my house. I'm good with local peeps that know me and, you know, what have you, to come to the garage sale. And it'll be a one-day sale. It'll be done and over. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be working on next. You're going to see some garage sale stuff, but you just have to control your inventory. I would love to actually have sold everything I've ever made and flipped for y'all, but is it realistic? Probably not. So Salvation Army, 99 cents for this pair. I won't do anything to it. I love when wood has been turned and it has those different colors in it. Oh my gosh, so great. I'd probably $7 for the pair, so 99 cents. That was a great price. So even if they were 99 cents a piece, that still would have been okay. I like to sell them as a pair. And then this was maybe it was $1.99. I don't know. I can't tell if that was $1.99 or 99. Just a wooden. I'm still collecting things because I really love doing those music sheet flowers. Actually, the music sheet flowers, the drop cloth flowers, and my flowers I made out of pop cans all sold. So I may do another video for you all because I do love having those in the booth. I don't have availability of getting dried flowers, so hey, if I can make some, why not? And then I just thrifted all those music sheets, so at that estate sale. So for $5.29, I picked up this duck. I've sold these ducks before. They're just cute. They're just funny. This one, I don't need to do anything. I don't know if I've actually ever done anything to this line. They're just resin, cute, little kitchen open. Has a home goods tag on it for $16.99. But yeah, I thought he was cute. He's so cute. So definitely something. And I'd probably, in my booth, 12 or so. When you sell things on eBay, you have to up the charge because of what you're getting charged for on eBay. I don't know how long I'm going to keep doing that because I get a lot of people asking for stuff, but not a lot of people buying stuff, probably because, yep, I have to up the price to make over the cost, and then you have shipping and handling. So I don't know how much longer I'll try to sell stuff on eBay because it may not be worth my time. So I try to pop things on that people say that they want, and then they kind of just sit. Some buy them, most of them they just sit. So if you see things on there, that's why I popped it on, because somebody emailed me or messaged me that they wanted an item, and then it just sat. So just sharing that with you all. So for $2.29, yeah, I can't pass up little white. Definitely, again, this was something I wanted to put flowers in. So I'm getting quite a collection of, so I probably should get some of those flowers done. So I definitely love this little white. And then this was a fun little piece for $5.29. It's just a resin old camera, and I think just spray painting this black, what do y'all think? I know, because I do the makeovers with the haul, so I can't ask opinions, can I? I think painting it black would make it look a little bit more vintage than the paint job that it has on now. It's just, just a shelf sitter of a camera on somebody's shelf. So $5.29. So yeah. So I'll probably paint this one over. $5.29. So I found that I like that this had wood on it. Now this one says, what is it? Who is this? Hobby Lobby, $24.99, so half price, $12. Anyway, yeah, so I won't put anything in it because it doesn't help it sell any better by putting balls in it. Unfortunately, I have sold other ones at garage sales at the antique mall. But so I thought maybe with the wood, I like these lanterns. I think they're pretty, but yeah, putting stuff in it didn't help it sell. Probably should have passed it up. Do you watch that Crazy Lamp Lady Jocelyn? She does a video where what sold or what didn't sell, what I should have left behind. But I don't know. It's, my local Goodwill, it's a grab and go because if you think about it, somebody else has already picked it up and put it in their cart. So yeah, so I brought it home. So we're $3.29 a piece, but they're all ready for me to print out something on a piece of music paper. Oh my gosh. So I'm like, yes, 2 of them. So that one's got some weird, I don't know if somebody tried to white wax that themselves, because this one doesn't have it on it. It maybe made a bad decision because it doesn't really. But black rub and buff, oh my gosh, you guys, those patinas and those rub and buffs are just such a quick fix than painting it. It's changed my whole makeovers. Oh my gosh. So I'd probably just take a little bit of I'll probably just take a little rub and buff and the black to this to bring it back and cover up that white. Yeah, I don't think that's how this was sold. I think somebody tried, and hey, you know what? We all know some things don't work out. What our vision is and what it came out. This for $7.29, I don't know. It was big. You got mail. I don't know if that's ages it, but just a nice little cubby box. So I'm not going to do anything to this. I can't pop this off. And then if I tried to paint this black, and I got on the wood, I don't know. Maybe I can paint it black. It'd take a lot of time to tape off and then X-Acto knife around every single one of the letters, because once you painted that's gonna be there. But I like the wood of it all. So no, oh maybe it's got screws. Oh, so never mind. I can take it off and paint that black, which will really sharpen this up, because as you see, it just kind of fades away. I love the size of it. The size of it is what got me, because you're gonna put your magazines and other files in there until you have time to go through your mail. So yeah, oh, well, good to know that it had some screws on the side. I was, you know, like I said, I'm kind of a grab and go because our shelves change so often. Next one is $5.29 also. It's a cow butter dish. Oh my gosh, you know, I can't say that the cow creamers, and they sell, but I just like having them. It's kind of like I get to display stuff in my booth that I don't have room for them in my house. And they do sell once in a while, but this was actually a William Sonoma cow butter dish. So I sell butter dishes still really well. So I still go to the Dollar General and look for butter dishes to resell for $5 and charge $10. I think I didn't do anything to it. I'm reselling it. And then, you know, so yeah, but I'm always looking for that classic white and black, something that's not, because they have had colors that don't necessarily, even though I'm adding a lot more colors into our booth. Yeah, I liked the cow. I was happy. And this was all I found one day, was just this, but I was happy. Because yeah, still there's times I walk out and I don't get anything. $2.29 was this little mister, and I do have some. I'm slowly putting the ones that I made over last year back into the booth because now we're in the season. So it's just a little mister, but this is metal. So I was happy that this was, you know, I like them to be metal. I could put a little wordage on there, a little cricket out something to make it a little bit more, it just says made in Taiwan. So, but I like little misters. I think a lot of people have plants. And then these two little milk jars and a holder were $3.29. So I just think that they could use some lavender in them, put some crinkly paper in them and put some lavender to give a little pop of color. So that was a good find. $6.29 a set of black candlesticks. They were just Big Lot ones, but they're metal. So they retailed, these two were already retailing for $30 here, 15 a piece, and this was 10, so $6.29 for the set. They're already black. So I could do the Hobby Lobby rounds on them because they would be cost efficient that way. Those all sold, so maybe some people are looking for something that's not. I like that there was a set of 3 of them, definitely. So I might do that. I might, you know, make a trip to Hobby Lobby, get some more rounds. I think Chris could probably cut some in his downtime, but they're not terribly a lot. God, what was it? I think he was $5.20. Yeah, $5.29 for this olive bucket. Now I think I'm upgrading somebody's waste paper basket in their bathroom with this one. This is a little bit taller. I think Chris's bathroom downstairs has a smaller galvanized bucket in it, so this is a little bit taller. So thought that would be fun. So yeah, you know, when you're out thrifting, you're a reseller, you're also thrifting for your own home. $3.29 for 8. Look at it, I just did one of these, but that's okay. It's okay because it's nice to have stuff in your inventory. Even though I'm doing an inventory control garage sale, I also know items that sell. I know items that work in our booth. I know items that, you know, I'm getting into a few years of doing this. The hardest thing about flipping an item is displaying it to resell in your booth. Like, how can you show it off to people? How can you cycle it so people can see it? You know, that's the biggest thing. So now I'm enough years into this going, well, if I do this, how can people see it to buy it? Because nobody wants to really bend over and stick their butt up in the air to look at an item on a bottom shelf just because that's where it fits. So I really am giving more thought into that. Like my trays and risers, a lot of my big trays, it was hard to figure out how to display them. I love making them over, but it was really hard to find a spot to put them to display them. There's that. Anyway, so then this one, I think this was $4.99. Look at that. It's a little shutter. It had so much going on. It had some stars that had fallen off. It's got these cute primitive flags. It's got this, I've been a little worse for wear, but you know, we all save those little stars on there. So I definitely will make this over. Yeah, it needs a makeover, so maybe some ribbon that matches a little bit closer if I even put the ribbon back on. So we'll see how it cleans up. So that will definitely be part of the makeover. Then I was super, oh my gosh, I was super excited about this. So there's always things that you're constantly looking for when you're out thrifting. And I do always go into the craft section because I'm looking for batting, I'm looking for yarn or jute or hemp rope or any of those supplies that I normally use, or even like I found Hobby Lobby rounds there. I'm always looking in that. So one of the other areas I go into is I'm an Afghan. I look for Afghans, or I look for little towels, and then I look in the fabric. And one of the things I'm always looking for is black ticking stripe. And for the first time ever, for $4.99, I don't know how much is in here. There's a good pile in there. I found some black ticking stripe. It was like, whoo! It was like a scavenger hunt find. One of the things I'm always looking for. I see the blue a lot, but I always want the black because I make things like my pillows on my couch right now. They were on my bed. Decided to change them out because the ones I bought pillows from the Dollar General store, and I guess we like to use our pillows. They didn't last very long, so I wanted to make new pillows, but I really rather thrift. I rather thrift yarn or thrift fabric. $4.99, yes, so I can make up some more pillows. So I was excited about that. I'm not sure if that'll be part of the makeovers or not, because I'll have to get pillow forms. And let's see, what was this one? $3.99, and these are just some primitive candles. They're tiered, so they all go down inside. They did have candles with them, but as you see, they bled. So I'll probably just redonate those because maybe somebody will be happy with those. But I wanted it for these candles. Yes. So whether I keep them just as the candle, I know I'll paint them, get rid of the primitive colors, or whether I'll put little pieces of wood, or look at that, even you could flip them over and do something else with them. It looks like this side could have been a votive, and this is more of the taper candle, is that what it's called? So yeah, so they had the two different sides on it. I don't burn those type of candles, so but yeah, $3.99. That was a great find. So $5.29. This is an old, I think had whiskey or alcohol in it sometime. We have a little, Chris has a bar area if you've never seen our home tours, and some of the vintage ones. This one's stamped. So when I see these out a lot, I do pick them up if there's another stamp on it. I love Crocs, and then this goes in with his theme of having the bar area. So yes, this will be something that I will keep also. I love the age of the paper falling off. I can't really read who crackling wine. Oh, it was wine. It was wine in there. So alcohol gives me headaches, like bad migraines. So I really don't drink, y'all. If you ever wondered, Chris does, he likes his beer, but I can do my little slushie that I make at Christmas time, and that's okay, but most alcohol, I'll wake up and even a half a glass will give me a headache, and I already suffer from migraine, so I don't want any more that's gonna cause it. So in case you wanted to know that for me, I can't even enjoy a drink very often. So unless I want to pay for it. Okay, so $2.29, it was just enamelware. This is all white enamelware little cups, so I don't pass them up. Yeah, I could put lavender in it, so that's, yeah, cute. I have another cup that I didn't do yet, so I probably should do a little bit more flowers. And then this was $2.29. I'll probably keep this for myself. I don't know. I love cotton. I guess it goes with the way that I decorate. I've had a couple cotton wreaths lately in our booth, and I ended up bringing them home because I thought they sat too long. I guess maybe people want more. I don't know. I don't know what they want. So I'll probably keep this myself. Maybe put it in one of my crockeries or with my ironstone. Change this new age galvanized up. But yeah, I mean, it's just a nice. It's nice. Cotton, and maybe, does anybody else decorate with cotton? I like to, so let me know in the comments below if you still are decorating with cotton. Okay, then we had, what was this one? Oh, $6.29 for this green. You can see the bubble. I know it's picking up. You can kind of see the bubbles even with the, it's got a bee on it. So, yep, I'll just see if somebody wants this as is. So I picked up some more of that temptation wear. I haven't sold any that I picked up yet, but I picked up more. So actually there were these, and then there's two of these larger casserole dishes, like this, and then, because these are heavy. So they had the holders, and then they had this wicker in the bottom of it, and the whole set was $15. So we might pop some of this on the eBay since this was 4 set and see how it goes. I know I like the color. It's kind of a taupey brown, kind of a muted color. And then I picked up another set, a couple different days in between. This set was $10.29. So I actually have the pattern in some of those little berry bowls, I'm calling them. But yeah, the same thing. They have that glass on these have glass on the bottom. So they have those holders. These are very dirty. Oh, very gross, but you know, Dawn dish soap and hot water cleans a lot. So yep, get these cleaned up, see how they go. Yeah, I probably won't pick any more casserole bowls. I tell myself that now because I haven't sold any yet. So, you know, there's that. So I did pick up, I've done this in another thrift haul. I picked up one of these Dyson vacuums. This one was actually cheaper. I think the last one I picked up was $6.29 and I sold it for $18. So this one was $4.29. Yeah, and I pick up kids' toys that I think are a little bit more of a high end. I guess I consider Dyson higher end toys. You know, people do shop with their kids or their grandkids. And then this was $5.29. It's a little fishing reel magnet, FEO source, probably sold at Target or, you know, one of those stores at Christmas time, but new in box. And I'm sure I've shared with you in the past. Let me see if it says anything. But no, I don't see anything that says where it's sold. Shared with you in the past that we are a lake community, so we have a lot of lakes. So how cute is this? I loved wooden toys for my kids. So yeah. And it's funny because we ran into a friend at Goodwill that was there, and I was explaining to her why we were in the kids section looking at things and how I always liked the Melissa and Doug line, and everything that I picked up from the Melissa and Doug line has sold. I don't go crazy on the prices at all. I had 3 times my price. But yeah, so I was explaining to her about that, and then we were leaving it, and literally this piece was on the floor and Chris hit it with the cart. Like literally. You're like, really? We were just explaining to her what I'm looking for in the toy section, and then literally ran into it with the cart. So yeah, that is a funny story. So I just got a couple more pieces here. So this one was $5.29. Look at this primitive, already black, nothing I need to do to it shelf. Oh my gosh, what? I mean, you could hang, it doesn't have anything to hang on the wall. We could put some hangers on it for somebody. But yeah, it's just a nice little primitive piece that you could put candle in it. You could put some flower in a vase, a picture in it. Yeah, so yeah, cute little primitive piece. Now, because it's black, now the other primitive colors, I know people are still decorating with the green and the burgundy and the mustard, but I'm not. And that's not what I want to resell. So I'm going to paint over that. And then my last little find of the day, Chris found this little beaded monkey. Just funny. He hangs. He was $3.29. Sometimes those quirky things they're quirky and they sell really well. So he was cute. Monkeys are cute. So yeah, so picked him up too. So I believe, let me look around. I believe that is it for our thrift haul. So stay tuned as I do the makeovers for you all.
So since now I know I can remove the screws and take this metal piece off, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I definitely am glad that I can take the metal piece off because I really would like to seal this wood. That wood is that unfinished wood, so if anything spills on it, a pen leaks on it, water leaks on it, it just causes damage. So I'm happy to take these two apart. Just I'm cleaning everything off using some crud cutter today. So you just want to make sure that there's nothing, no kind of residue on any one of your pieces, so you can make sure that your paint is going to adhere properly. And I love my Rust-Oleum paint primer and the flat black to paint over my items. It's a great primer, it's a great base color, and some of them, like this piece, it's going to be their finished color. Makeovers, some flips are just as easy as that, just changing a little bit of the paint color, sealing the item in using polycrylic. I like the matte finish. Sometimes I have to do the satin. I've now stayed away from the Rust-Oleum clear coat most of the time because it's too unpredictable if it's going to crinkle or not. If anybody was wondering why I've changed up and gone back to, that is why. But I'm definitely happy to seal this wooden box in to give it some protection. After a couple coats have dried on this box, I'm just going to take some fine grit steel wool. It'll have a really rough texture to it, and just this will just make it nice and smooth before reattaching that metal piece. Yes, this might have sold just as is. It just really has a very fakey silver look to it that it's simple enough to clean the item off, get that tag taken off, and spray it and seal it in. And then I'm going to add a little bit of details with some of that copper patina. So now it's time to get to these black candlesticks. So first I'm removing the tag. I'm trying to remove, yep, there was a lot of wax inside that. So I'm going to scrape most of it off first and then go ahead with the heat gun to melt it and then proceed to wiping it off. That definitely helps get rid of that wax. While I was removing the wax from the top just kept spinning around, so even trying to tighten it up, it did not work. So I'm going to be using some JB Weld to glue it back together. The JB Weld is a 2-part epoxy, and so I'm just going to mix the two together, put a little bit on there, and then let it sit, so then we don't have to worry about that top spinning around anymore. Sure, the previous owner had the problem with those spinning around and tried to fix it, so some of the paint has been scraped off. So we're going to get these glued back together, get the wax removed, and get these cleaned off so we can get these freshly coated with some black Rust-Oleum. You all find out a lot when you visit your Hobby Lobby and you're on a mission for something. You can't always find what you're looking for. Nope, they did not have, they had only one package of those wood rounds, and you can see I have 3 candlesticks. So in my little journey of looking around things, I noticed these wooden coasters fit perfectly, and the nice thing about it is they were over that $5.29 price tag, and the wood items were on sale, so I got them on sale. Now the 2 wood rounds that I usually buy are never on sale because they're underneath that price tag, so I'll take this little Godwink moment, and I actually still have some extras. So I'm just going to be using some Gorilla Glue for a nice strong fit, especially since I've got metal to wood, and then a little bit of the CA Starbond glue for that quick bond until that Gorilla Glue sets up. A lot of times when I'm gluing something, I let it sit overnight and before starting to work on it if I can. So I want to give this a little bit of color. These are actually, comparative to the other, they're nice and smooth, so I don't really have a lot of sanding that I have to do to them, but I don't want to darken up the wood. I want to leave it a little bit on the natural side, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe them first with some Ventilator clear wax in the natural first, and then mix a little bit of the antiquing wax in with the white wax just to give them a little bit of color. So this this didn't really start out as my original plan, but as I was looking at my waxes, I kind of thought if I could mix a little bit of the Waverly white paint in with the white wax to get a little bit whiter, that I could go ahead and get it in some of those little details on this candlesticks, and it is working out wonderfully. Now I am actually using the natural cloth to act as a eraser to get it off the black, so it's just in those cracked areas, those little detailed areas. Now we're going to take a moment from painting to do these little milk bottles. So I definitely love this crinkle paper that I thrifted that's white. And then Hobby Lobby, when I went down to get those rounds, the greenery was on sale. So 50% off. So I picked up 4. To me, that's kind of like buying one, getting one free when I do it that way, in my mind anyway. So I'm just going to put some of that crinkle paper in. And I know if you have a shredder, you can shred it. But I like it that it's crinkled also. I would never take the time to accordion a piece of paper to run it through a shredder, and I don't have a shredder, so I'm happy for $2.29 to thrift this huge bag of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and stuff some of it inside these bottles, cut the greenery off these stems, a good pair of sharp nippers, and then I thought about lavender, but sometimes it's nice not to have my whole booth just be lavender. So, and I still have, oh my gosh, I have so much lavender. But anyway, I thought some simple greenery with the white, because I thought the caddy was in great shape. So now to add a little bit more interest to it, I'm just taking some of this ribbon that I've had a couple Christmases ago and adding a little bit of jute, just tying a simple 1 loop knot around the base, giving a little clip to the bottom of the tails so they're nice and even, just to give a little bit more interest. I know mug tree may not be an exciting item to flip. I love those details, and it's a nice place to have coffee mugs if you want to resell them, pieces of pottery, wreaths. You can hang other things on them. You don't necessarily have to do coffee mugs. So yes, I'm just going to get this sprayed up, sealed in, and then we are going to attempt to see if I can do some crackle paint. It's one of those techniques I'm trying to get good at. Do you all do that? But I thought first I would see if I could add a little bit more touch of some truffle paint underneath to see if I could get another little hue of paint popping through that crackle. Let my truffle paint completely dry, and now I just have dollar store glue, nothing fancy, and I'm just brushing it on the top of that. So now, because it is a chalk paint and you can water distress it, you can see that it's mixing in with my glue, but I'm not going to stress over that. It is what it is. I'm going to use the assistant of the heat gun to dry this just a little bit. In my last makeovers, I had done a huge finial, and I think I let it dry too much, and that's why it didn't crackle as much. So I'm really going to try to control my glue and my crackle by making sure that I don't let my glue dry all the way through. I think maybe that was my problem a little bit. So you just need a little bit of a film so it doesn't just blend in with your paint. When it comes to doing paint over the crackle, it's one coat, whether you're brushing it on or you're using the sprayer like I am. And I have my Kills paint and primer in the flat sheen, and I'm just going and spraying it right on top of that, giving it a good coverage. Oh my goodness, this crackled beautifully, just letting it air dry. I didn't help the crackle at all by using the heat gun, only when I did the glue, but oh my gosh. So now I just have to go underneath where I didn't get when I was spraying with a little bit of touch up. So now we have the set of 3 primitive candlesticks. I love that they tier. I love that there's an option that you could have that votive on there. But I do think that I would like to do the crackle on these also. They're just a fun little set. Now, actually, these are still drying a little bit. They may be a tad bit wet, but I want to get these wooden pieces glued on. So I'll be very carefully. They're dry enough that I can kind of touch in areas, but I don't want to smudge up the glue. So when I was looking at the wood pieces at Hobby Lobby, I saw these and they just caught my eye. And I thought, oh wow, they have so many different sizes. I think it would be fun to make 3 different sizes of these wood rounds on these cute little candlesticks. After letting the paint dry completely overnight and my glue dry completely overnight, I'm going to go back in and sand them, making sure that all the areas are nice and smooth. So I do want to get rid of all the sanding dust I just created, but those tops, those wood pieces are really raw, they're really rough, they're unfinished. So I'm going to go ahead and just spray some polycrylic on top of them, a couple coats that's going to soak in the wood. And then after the polycrylic has dried, I can sand those nice and smooth so they're not that raw. If water happens, you don't get water damage. If something spills on them, you don't have to worry about it. But I definitely want to get them filled in a little bit. I'm always so happy when I'm at the thrift store and when things get worse for wear, people donate them instead of throwing them in the trash and letting them go to a landfill. I was very happy to stumble across this star shutter. The pip berries are a little bit worse for wear, but I wanted to be able to save those rusty stars by just clipping them off. And I don't think I'll be reusing these flags for this project, but I'll go ahead and remove some of this hot glue and save them for another one coming up. I just walk away after spraying that white and let it do what it's going to do. And the next day, look at that beautiful crackle. So now I'm just going to make sure that there's no globs, there's no build up, just making sure that everything is nice and smooth. I did get a little bit of overspray, so I'm just going to touch that up with the Waverly ink paint and then let that dry and then seal that back in. I know it's the back, but I still like my backs just to be just as pretty and just seal it in with a little bit more polycrylic. When I went down to Hobby Lobby, their florals were 50% off. I wanted to look to see what wreaths they had to put on this. So this is what they had. Though I would have liked something a little bit smaller, I think I can bend it, but just some simple greenery to add to the spring season. I know when I purchased it, the wreath was in the middle, but I'm going to go ahead and put it more towards the top so you can kind of centering it in between the middle of those other 2 stars so you can see that other star completely. Just all personal preference. I'm going to spread out, see if I can find a thin enough wire to put a staple on to staple this wreath to the shutter. I'm not really sure where these rusty stars were attached. It just kind of came with the shutter and fell off in the cart, so I'm not even sure where they were attached. But I'm going to go ahead and weave them around this wreath just to tie this wreath in with the stars of the shutter. Did you see me move these around in my thrift haul? I don't know why I didn't choose to show them to you, but I knew that I was going to be making these over for you all today. I like throwing a couple little extra bonuses in that aren't necessarily part of the thrift haul. So these are just Dollar General brownies, $5 a piece. They were out for the Easter time. You may still be able to find them. They're super heavy, so they're like a ceramic, not quite a cement, but I'm going to go ahead, got them all tagged, cleaned up, and going to get them spray painted up in the black. And at first I thought I was just going to make them black and make them kind of look like they were wrought iron, that type. But because of the pits, we're going to have to do something else. It's always funny when you're in the middle of making over items how your plans change. Yes, once I got these painted up black and sealed in, I was like, oh, well, they have a lot of little marks in them and they would really look good waxed. Now, I could have white waxed them over the black. I could have done that, but they definitely have that cement type of feel to them. So I'm going to go ahead and texture paint with some baking soda. I'm using some Waverly white chalk paint, a little bit of the steel chalk paint. I just haven't taken the time to go to my local Walmart and pick up some more gray, so I'm just making my own gray. Really good coverage with the first coat, but I just need to flip the little bunny over, clean up that bottom, and get any of the spots that I can see that black through. I am going to be waxing these, but I want to seal in that chalk paint so it does not hopefully rub off, so a little bit of polycrylic. I really want my white wax to pop, so I'm going to go ahead and make my own using the Varathane natural wax and then a little bit of the Waverly wax chalk paint. Just kind of mix it until I think it looks appropriate and then wax it onto this little bunny. Now I'm going to take a cloth that has some of that natural on and I'm going to wipe off the excess white, just leaving it in all those little, they're pits, I don't know what else to call them, and then all the little crevices, just popping that detail. Talked earlier in my video about grab and go, and this pottery piece was one of those from my previous thrift haul that I didn't realize one of his fins were broken. So I should have video. I wasn't sure if this was going to work. To save him, I used some of that Daz air dry clay and tried to recreate a matching fin on the other side. Yes, one of his fins were broken off when I purchased him. But I'm happy to say it feels like it's good and on there, but I can't match up his paint, so I'm going to have to go ahead and paint him over. So to even out the porosity of the air dry clay, I'm just spraying that fin with a little bit of shellac and then letting that dry, and now I'll go ahead and do a base primer of him with the Rust-Oleum paint and primer in the black. Could have changed his colors, but I already had this gray mixed up and I had plenty of it available, so I'm just going to go ahead and paint him to look like he's cement. Now, he's supposed to be a sponge holder, I believe. That's why his mouth is open so wide, and that's definitely when I cleaned him, when I noticed that his fin was broken. what the buildup on the bottom was. So yep, we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to paint, but I do want to be able to pop some of his details. Now this needed a second coat all over, unlike the bunnies that had more of a texture that grabbed onto the paint. So I'm going in and applying a second coat, but why this paint is still wet, I want to shade in some of those detail areas just using the straight steel Waverly paint. Then after I got him the way that I liked him to be, I'm going to go ahead and seal this in with a couple coats, especially if I think it's going to be used again as a sponge holder. I cleaned up that bottom after I got it all textured and that was dry, and sealing it in with some polycrylic. This is going to be a first for me, so yep, these are not going to get made over today. As you see, I film everything. When I'm making an item over, I can always delete it. But on these chunky metal candlesticks, as I got to clean them, I noticed that one of the lids, which I thought was loose, so I'm like, oh, I'll just JB weld that back on. It's metal. I'm scraping. I did all my prep work only to find out. The only reason I am sharing this with you is in case that you are a makeover thrifter like I am and you run into a pair of candlesticks, because I did not know these were urns. Oh my goodness, I was totally freaked out. Nope, we will not be making these over. My daughter took the rest of the ashes that must have been dumped out to begin with. In the beginning, there wasn't very much. It still freaks me out. Said a little prayer. We burnt the board on our burn pile. I'm really not sure. I'm not redonating urns. Unfortunately, they'll probably just go into the trash.
So I know it may be a little bright here, but it is a beautiful day here in Michigan, and anytime we can take the sunshine, I will. So I'm sitting here by the window open, a nice cool breeze, not cold, not warm, just nice to air out your house. I don't know about you all, but once I can open the windows just a little bit, one, makes the cats happy, and two, I just love that fresh air. So thanks for watching today's video of my thrift hauls and the items that I made over. And as always, give me a comment of what item I found that was your favorite and what item I made over was your favorite, if you feel so inclined. And if you're new and you're checking out our channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what I'm up to. Bye!